At a holiday party, I said can't wait for the reunion tomorrow. My brother laughed, that was yesterday. My aunt showed me photos of everyone there. I left without a word, and they lived to regret it. Hey, I'm Rachel, and I've always felt like the oddball in my family. Not because I did anything wrong, but because my success seemed to turn me into the bad guy. I grew up in a middle-class home where money was tight, but I hustled like crazy to make a life for myself. I snagged a scholarship to a top college, landed a solid finance job, and now at 32, I'm doing better than I ever dreamed. I'm not rolling in dough, but I'm comfy, I own my house, travel when I want, and until recently, I was sending money to my family each month to give them a hand. I didn't expect a parade of gratitude or anything, but I sure didn't see their betrayal coming. Looking back, I probably should have noticed the signs. Mom always played favorites with my brother, Mark, the golden child, who could do no wrong despite job hopping and dodging responsibility. Meanwhile, I was too serious about work or acting like I was above everyone. And my sister, Lisa? She was the queen of backhanded compliments, always reminding me that money doesn't buy happiness, yet she had zero issues cashing the checks I sent her when she was short on rent. Dad? He just went along with whatever Mom said, never stepping up for me, never calling out the obvious favoritism. Still, I kept trying. Every holiday, I showed up with gifts. Every family dinner, I picked up the tab. Whenever they needed something, I was there. I naively thought that maybe if I kept giving, they'd finally accept me. Instead, they decided to show me my place. It all kicked off at a holiday party, just a casual get-together at my folks' place. We were all at the table, plates loaded with Mom's famously dry turkey, and I mentioned how I couldn't wait for the family reunion the next day, eager to see everyone again. A beat of silence passed before Mark let out a laugh. The reunion was yesterday. I blinked. What? Lisa just smirked, sipping her wine like she was watching the best show ever. Yeah, it was yesterday. Didn't Mom tell you? I whipped around to Mom, my heart thumping. You told me it was on the 23rd. She barely shrugged. Oops, must have mixed up the dates. Mixed up? Really? I was their daughter, their sister, not some random cousin they forgot to call. My aunt, scrolling through her phone, turned it around to show me a picture. Everyone was there, cousins, uncles, nieces, nephews, Mark, Lisa, my parents, all smiling and laughing, arms around each other. And me? Not a single text or call. Mark just grinned, damn, awkward. Guess we forgot to mention it, Lisa giggled, oops, my bad, LOL. Something inside me went ice cold. I set down my fork, stood up, and walked away without a word. I didn't yell or cry, I just left. Because right then, I knew this wasn't a mistake or forgetfulness. They did this on purpose, and I was determined they'd regret it. I walked into the chilly night, letting the cold hit my skin as I processed the whole thing. They had planned it. Every one of them, my mom, dad, brother, sister. They looked me in the eye and let me sit there like a fool, laughing about forgetting to tell me. I checked my phone, no calls, no messages, nothing. Not even a lousy wish you were here. A dull ache settled in my chest, but I shoved it down. I'd spent years pretending their favoritism didn't bother me, that their little digs didn't hurt. But this? This was different. This was deliberate. This was them making a statement. I stared at the quiet street, snowflakes floating down under the street lights. I should have just driven home, cut them off then and there, but I didn't. I wanted to see how far they'd go. After a few deep breaths, I headed back inside. The laughter continued, like my absence hadn't mattered. I slipped back to the table, hanging my coat as if I'd just stepped out for a quick breath of fresh air. My fingers were numb, but I didn't care. I wanted the cold to remind me of what they'd done. As I sat back down, Lisa raised an eyebrow. Thought you left. I met her gaze. Why would I? It's just a silly mistake, right? She gave me a knowing smile. Of course, just a little mix-up. Mark chuckled. You're taking this way too seriously. It wasn't on purpose. I leaned back in my chair. You all organized a whole family reunion. Everyone was there. Food, drinks, decorations. Someone had to pick a date, send out invites. But not one of you thought to text me? I tilted my head. You really think I'll swallow that? Mom sighed dramatically, like I was the difficult one. Rachel, don't do this. It's the holidays. Let's not ruin it over a simple mistake. A simple mistake. I glanced around as they avoided my gaze, waiting for me to just drop it, like always. I could feel their expectation. This was the part where. So, picture this, I'm sitting at dinner with my family, and usually, I just let stuff slide, you know? But this time, I couldn't. I grabbed my fork, casually spinning it, and said, "You know, I've been thinking about the money I send you guys every month." Suddenly, everyone's paying attention. Lisa's sitting up straight, Mom looks a bit freaked, and even Dad finally looks up. Mark, my brother, squints suspiciously and asks, "What about it?" I put my fork down gently. "Well, I find it interesting. I help Lisa with her rent when she's short, I cover Mom and Dad's medical bills, and I even give Mark a little cash for whatever he's into these days. And yet, somehow, I wasn't important enough to get an invite to the family reunion." There's this awkward silence. Lisa giggles nervously. "Oh, come on, you're not actually upset about that, right?" I didn't say anything. Mark, on the other hand, rolls his eyes and says, "You're being dramatic, Rachel. It was just a mix-up. You've got your fancy job and your nice house. You don't need the reunion." There it was, the jealousy, the snide remarks dressed up as jokes. I gave a small, cold smile. "You're right, Mark. I do have a great life." Lisa shot me a warning look. "Rachel, don't be petty." I laughed softly. "Petty? Like throwing a family reunion and forgetting to invite me?" Silence again. Mark shrugged, scooping up another mouthful of food. "Oh my God, you're always playing the victim. You'll get over it, like you always do." Then he dropped a bomb, grinning like he was king of the world. "Besides, I already ordered those new Jordans with the money you send me every month. You wouldn't actually stop sending us money over something this small, would you?" The room went dead quiet. Mom's eyes went wide, her fork suspended midair. Lisa froze, and Dad just fiddled with his meal awkwardly. Mark, blissfully unaware, kept grinning. "You wouldn't do that to your family, right?" And right there, I decided. I set my napkin down and smiled. "Wouldn't I?" Mark's grin wavered. He stared at me, waiting for me to laugh or something, but I wasn't kidding. The heaviness in the air was undeniable as the reality started to sink in for everyone. Mom tried to intervene. "Rachel, we love you. We're family." She reached over, resting her hand on mine, as if that would smooth things over. But I wasn't buying it. I pulled my hand back. "You know, I used to wonder if we'd even be having this conversation if I didn't send you all money." My father tried to step in. "Rachel," I stopped him. "No, really. Would any of you be trying to fix this if I weren't your personal ATM?" No one said anything. Lisa looked offended. "That's not fair. We care about you," I chuckled. "You care about what I can do for you." Mark rolled his eyes. "Here we go again. Maybe we didn't invite you because of your drama." I raised an eyebrow. "Then you won't have to deal with it anymore." Things got tense. Mom looked worried, Dad was concentrating on his plate but gripping his fork tightly, and Lisa sat there with her lips pressed together. Mark laughed. "You wouldn't cut us off. You're too nice for that." I smiled. "Guess we'll see." Mark's face dropped. I got up, straightening my dress, grabbing my purse. They all watched me like they couldn't believe what was happening. Mom's voice was almost frantic. "Rachel, don't be rash. We're family." I looked at her calmly. "You all turned your backs on me ages ago." With that, I headed to the door. "Wait," Lisa blurted, jumping up, "you're not serious, right? You wouldn't really cut us off?" I opened the front door, feeling the cold air hit me like a wake-up call. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. And hit the notification bell to stay updated with more crazy real-life stories happening around you. The house felt like an oven, the air thick and stifling, as I glanced back over my shoulder, keeping my voice calm and almost laid back. "Enjoy the shoes, Mark," I said, stepping outside and pulling the door shut behind me. I barely reached my car when my phone started going off. First Mom, then Lisa, and surprise, Mark chimed in too. Ignoring them, I chuckled to myself as I got into the driver's seat. Wow, that didn't take long. I hadn't even backed out of the driveway before a text from Mark popped up. It read, "Okay, very funny, you've made your point. Can you send the money now?" I just rolled my eyes and silenced my phone. The drive home felt peaceful, a rare feeling after so many years. For once, I had this strange sense of freedom, like I didn't have to be the nice one anymore, the one who always forgave, always gave, and always put up with their nonsense. I was done. But them? They were just getting started. By the time I walked in my door, my phone had practically exploded with messages. Lisa had texted, "Rachel, don't be so dramatic. Family is family." Mom weighed in with, "You don't mean this, we raised you better," while Dad, being his usual succinct self, simply put, "Call your mother." Mark, on the other hand, bombarded me with a slew of messages, "So much for not caring. At first, it was his typical nonsense, mocking and condescending. "You're really cutting us off over this? Unreal," he wrote, followed by, "What are you going to do? Spend all your money on candles and fancy pillows? Come on." Then a final jab, "Fine, be petty, whatever." Then, things took a turn. "Hey, okay, listen. I kind of need that money, soon," he admitted. Just as I thought, here we go. He had ordered some stuff, fully expecting my transfer this month. Oh, so now he was admitting it wasn't just about the shoes, I thought, raising an eyebrow. A TV, a PS5, a laptop, he had quite a shopping spree. But his whole plan was based on my wallet. I smirked, sipping my tea as I scrolled further. "You're seriously not answering? This isn't funny. They're going to charge my card tomorrow, Rachel. I don't have the money to cover it. Do you want me to go into debt?" I almost choked on my tea. This was comedy gold. For years, Mark had banked on my support, spending without a worry, knowing I'd cover it. Now, he was in a pinch, and I wasn't playing ball. My phone buzzed with a call from Mark, which I let ring out, and then another, and another. Finally, a snappy text, "Pick up the phone." I just leaned back, a smug grin spreading across my face. For once, I was holding the reins. They thought I'd cave, let them guilt trip me into thinking I was in the wrong, but they forgot the crucial bit: I was done being their ATM. And Mark? Well, he was about to see what that meant. I stretched out on the couch, feeling relaxed like never before. They could squirm all they wanted. I wasn't going to be their safety net anymore. Mark had always been reckless with cash, but this time he went all out, maxing out his credit card, expecting me to bail him out yet again. How much had he actually spent? Knowing Mark, he probably went for the top shelf versions of everything, shrugging it off because, hey, I was paying. But now, reality was hitting him like a truck. I put my phone on silent and turned on the TV, settling in for a chilled-out evening. But before I could pick a show, my phone lit up again. Another call from Mark, and another, and another. He was relentless. I ignored them until a message from Mom came through. "Rachel, call your brother now," I laughed to myself. Oh, now she was concerned. Funny how that works. Then, another message, "This is serious, he's in trouble. You need to help him." Taking my sweet time, I finished my tea before even thinking about replying. Lisa chimed in too. "Okay, look, I get that you're mad, but you've made your point. Can you just send the money now? He's freaking out." I grinned. They were cracking. Then Mark again. "Rachel, if you don't send the money tonight, I'll be in trouble. Do you get that? I can't pay for this." Oh, I got it all right. I let a good 15 minutes slide by, watching the messages pile up, until finally, Mark sent one that made me laugh out loud. "Rachel, please." Ah, there it was, the sweet desperation. I let that stew for a bit before finally deciding to call him. He picked up on the first ring, sounding frazzled. Finally. "Rachel, what the hell? You've been ignoring me all night." I leaned back comfortably. "Oh, I saw your messages. I was just busy." "Busy doing what?" he snapped. "Relaxing," I replied smoothly, savoring my newfound control. He groaned in frustration. "Rachel, you don't get it." I cut him off. "No, Mark, you don't get it. You assumed I'd just keep paying up, month after month. You didn't even ask. You splurged on all this stuff, planning that I'd bail you out again." Silence hung for a moment, then he scoffed, "Come on, you're really this mad about some dumb reunion? It was a mistake, we forgot to tell you. Big deal. But now you're punishing me for it? That's insane." I shook my head, even though he couldn't see it. "No, Mark, this isn't about the reunion. It's about the fact that I'm done. Done with being your personal bank account, done with the lies, done with being used." His voice rose, defensive. "Used? Oh my God, Rachel, you're so dramatic. We're family. You've got money, it's not like it's a big deal to you." Ah, there it was, the entitlement. The sheer audacity. I let out a short laugh. "Well, you really don't see it, do you?" I couldn't believe how unreasonable this was getting. I mean, I didn't owe him anything. I was just helping out because I felt like it, but now I'm over it. "You can't be serious," he breathed. "You can't do this, Rachel. I've already spent the money, I can't return everything." I just shrugged and said, "Not my problem," he snapped, "You don't get it. They're going to charge my card at midnight. If I don't have the money, my account's going to overdraft. Are you really going to let that happen?" I stayed quiet for a bit to let his panic sink in, Then calmly replied, "Yeah, I am." He let out this weird laugh, like he couldn't believe what I was saying. "Rachel, come on, just this one last time. I promise I won't bug you again," I sighed. "That's what you said last time, and the time before that, and the time before that. This is different." He argued. "Nope, it's exactly the same. You made a reckless decision thinking I'd bail you out, but I'm done with that." His voice cracked. "Rachel, please." I almost felt bad for a second, but then I remembered all those times they made me feel like I didn't belong. I stayed strong. "You'll figure it out," I said. "Good luck," and hung up. In no time, my phone started blowing up again, but I ignored it. Then Lisa texted, "What did you say to him?" "He's freaking out." I didn't reply. Then Mom texted, "Rachel, don't be cruel. Help your brother." "Nope, not happening." And then Mark, "You're going to regret this." I just smiled, turned off my phone, and went to bed, enjoying the fact that, for once, I wasn't losing sleep over it. The next morning, I woke up to a ridiculous number of missed calls and messages from Mark, Lisa, and Mom, all trying to convince me to give in. But my mind was made up. I took my time getting up, made myself a nice breakfast, and sipped my coffee while scrolling through my messages. Most of them were just guilt trips and demands, but then I saw, "Rachel, I swear if you don't send the money, I'll come to your house myself." Oh, so now it's threats. Then another message from Mom, "Mark is on his way over. Please just talk to him," I sighed, so that's how they wanted to play it. About an hour later, just as I was finishing some work, my doorbell rang. I knew exactly who it was. I opened the door to Mark looking like a total wreck. "Rachel," he said, trying to keep his voice steady, "we need to talk." I leaned against the door frame. "Talk about what?" I was pretty clear last night. His jaw tightened. "Look, I messed up, okay? But I need you to help me out this one time." I tilted my head. "You mean like last time and the time before that?" His hands balled into fists. "Come on, you have the money. It wouldn't even hurt you," I laughed. "That's the issue, Mark. You think my money is your safety net, but it's not." He sighed, frustrated. "Rachel, I don't have time for this. The charges hit my account today." I stared at him. "Mark, I just want you to take responsibility for once." His face twisted. "This is about the reunion, isn't it? You're being petty over a dumb party." I laughed again. "Oh, trust me, Mark, this is about way more than that." He was visibly struggling to keep it together. "So you're really not going to help me?" "Nope." His hands were at his sides, nostrils flaring. Finally, like something snapped in him, he spat, "You're just a selfish brat. You think you're better than us because you have money. News flash, Rachel, you're not. You'll always be the pathetic little sister who had to buy respect. And when you lose that money, don't come crawling back to us." I didn't even flinch, just smiled. "Good to know, Mark. Now get off my property." He stood there, glaring, waiting for me to back down. I didn't. After a few tense seconds, he let out a bitter laugh and stormed off, muttering as he got in his car. My phone buzzed again, a message from Mom, "Rachel, what did you do? Mark is furious." I shook my head and shut the door, sending my family one last message: "I'm done. Don't ever ask me for money again." It felt final. I hit send, turned off my phone, and went about my day. For the first time in a long time, I felt at peace. The following days were quiet. My family didn't reach out anymore, and it was like they accepted I wasn't their ATM or backup plan anymore. I didn't hear from Mark or Lisa, and while it was a relief, it was also a bit strange. A couple of weeks went by, and I barely thought about them. I focused on my work, my life, and just doing things for me. Then one night, I got a message from Mark: "I messed up. I don't know what to do. Please, Rachel, help me." I stared at it for a moment, not feeling any rush to respond. I wasn't angry anymore, wasn't frustrated, I just moved on. I deleted the message without replying and went on with my day, completely unbothered. For the first time, I was living for myself, no guilt, no expectations, just me. And that's exactly how I wanted it to stay.